Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football here at the Grapevine 7-on-7 state tournament, qualifying tournament here with the head coach of the Berkner Rams, Coach Trey Bryant. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes between games to chat with us.
Thank you, man. It's good to be here. It's only our second time being at a state qualifying tournament. We went to Plano 2 weeks ago, so this is our first time. The kids, even the school, they ain't did this ever. So it's good just to get them out here, get them to compete, let them see the competition they be going against, and get out here and play against some of their friends as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, what are you looking for? You mentioned this is a new thing for you guys, and the competition at state qualifying tournaments is usually pretty good. What are you wanting to see out of your kids today? Obviously, we all know it's not real football. The game is won and lost in the trenches, but this is a great practice for the fall for your skill guys. What do you want to see out of your kids today?
Man, it's just like you said. If y'all don't know, I'm a D-line guy, so I don't believe in none of this. Like my thing is if you ain't got the O-line, D-line, this ain't really football. So the biggest thing I want to see is see our kids compete. That's all I want to do. Like, I ain't worried about them wins and losses. I know what kind of team we got when we get all 11 out there on the field. Just come out here and compete, man. That's all I want to see. Making sure we're keeping that same thing, jogging on out the field, congratulating each other, having fun, the main thing. But just come out here and compete. I know what type of team we got when we put them pads on.
It's a lot of intangible stuff, right? Like you want to see your kids, maybe when a play doesn't go well, kids not hanging their heads, picking each other up. You want to see that kind of stuff. I know you and your coaches, you're watching. You can't coach, so you're having to watch, but you're making a lot of mental notes, aren't you?
Yes, man. That's the hardest thing is when you see certain stuff and you can't really say stuff. So that's stuff that eat me up a lot because I know in spring ball and then in the fall, when I seen something, I was able to check it or say something. Now over here, you got all these people out here, you ain't really supposed to be talking to them, so I kind of just try to stay back. But again, that's a good thing this is where my leaders come in. I tell them leaders lead. My guys don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. Somebody got to step up and lead. So this is a good thing to see. Who going to lead us? Somebody got to lead us with doing all the little things that we know, whether it's running out the field, congratulating our teammates, speaking, talking, communicating, all that. Who going to step up and do it? So that's what lets us do this over here.
Last year was your first year, and you are a proud Berkner Ram alum. And I know last year, first year as a head coach, and you got the Rams back in the playoffs. I know we talked before the last game of the year because y'all played on a Thursday, I think, and you needed a result to kind of go your way on Friday. And you weren't answering your phone that night, but y'all got into the playoffs. How big was that for your kids to get that experience of a playoff game, to have some success, and how big is that carryover into 2022 into spring football? How big was that for you guys?
It was huge. Like, just because, I came from McKinney with Shaver. So our first year there, it started out just like it was here. We started out 0-5 in McKinney, and before you know it, we won 4 out of the last 5 and got in the playoffs. And so this time, when I was at Berkner, same thing happened. We started out 0-4, 0-1 in district. And I'm telling them and I'm telling my coaches, I'm like, hey, I've been here before. Trust me. I know how this thing could play out. Just believe. And I kept telling my coaches, just keep them interested, keep them showing up. That's the main thing. Keep them interested, keep them showing up. Telling the guys the same thing. Hey, we're going to get this thing turned around, keep showing up. And sure enough, we start flipping it. You get that one win, and then that motivation carry over to another win. Before you know it, we was 3-1 in district. Went into the Irvin MacArthur game. Quarterback got hurt going into halftime. Ended up losing that game by 3. And then you come back, and we got to beat Urban Emmets. And we supposed to beat them by 10. We would have got in, only beat them by 7, and we needed help. But it was one of those when you take away finishing the season 4-7, going and playing Savion Red, and he rushed for 350, but you still only lose by 7. And when you was up by 16 at one point, but you're talking about 4-7, we was easily supposed to be 9-3 because we should have won that playoff game. And we know right now we lost 4 games by at least 6 points or less. And so it's one of those where you just know what type of team we had. We had to finish, and we start finishing, but then the inexperience kind of showed up in the playoffs. But we know what it takes, and now we know the goal last year was just get to the playoffs. Right now, it ain't get to the playoffs. Everybody ain't gonna patch on your back to go to the playoffs now. Now it's going to go win a playoff game for the first time in 15 years and keep going. That was the main thing we wanted to do, was get that community and stuff behind us and start changing the culture around Berkner, and that's kind of what we did.
Spring football is come and gone. What was some of the big bullet point items you wanted to have knocked off in spring football? What were you looking to get accomplished during spring practice this year?
I think the biggest thing everybody like to do, is find out what kind of team you got. And so we want to come out of there and just know we're going to be a well-disciplined team, and we're going to be a tough football team. That's the main thing we want to see because we got athletes. That's the biggest thing that people don't realize, that you come to Berkner, think about Richardson, everybody think, Richardson. But we got athletes over there. So the biggest thing, we know what we got. I just want us to come out of there and be able to say, man, we got a tough team, we got a well-disciplined team, and we can do that, and we can say that now. So it really helped us.
All right, now we look ahead at 2022 realignment. Basically the same district. You're adding a new face in Highland Park, who obviously, nothing needs to be said about those guys. That's a elite program for sure. But when you head into district play, what kind of ball club are you expecting to have? What's the personality of the Rams going to be in 2022?
And it's going to be kind of the same. We're going to be young, though. Like, we're going into it with a sophomore quarterback, a running back coming back, but he's going to be just a junior. We're going into it with probably 2 sophomore receivers, but with 2 returners, senior receivers. D-line all coming back, but we only got 1 senior, 2 returning D-linemen, but they're only going to be juniors. So we're going to be young. That's going to be the biggest thing. But, it's just the other teams are getting good as well. When you got to go against Highland Park, of course, you still got Jesuit, you still got the Lake Highlands. Irvin MacArthur was, we played them. They beat us by 3, and they didn't have their best player. And he coming back going to be just a junior. So, and Irvin Nimitz was good. So you got these other teams in our district where we got some dogs in our district, but the good thing about it is we got dogs too, and we can go compete with them. So, the goal is, and I think that we still got a great shot of getting back to the postseason, but now it's more so getting back to the postseason and winning the postseason game as well.
Final question for you, Coach. After a big Berkner Ram win, let's think about it now. After a big win, come back to the field house. What's the post-game meal of choice? What are you getting to celebrate after a big win?
Man, I like Big Mamas. If y'all ever in North Dallas, man, Big Mamas off of Forest Lane in Ardelia. It's the best. It's the North Dallas Rudy's. Okay. You're in Oak Cliff, everybody go to Rudy's Chicken. Yep. If you're in North Dallas, you go to Big Mama's.
What's your go-to order? What do you order from there?
I'm 4-piece, all thighs.
4-piece, all thighs?
All thighs. Okay. I don't play with that little meat now. You gotta give me some thighs. I don't need no wings and legs and all that now.
Okay. Coach, appreciate your time. Enjoy watching your kids compete, and we appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out.
Great job.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.